This is Valley News Live at noon.
New for you at noon, authorities want to alert the community to a rise in residential burglaries on the south side of Fargo. Police say items stolen from homes include firearms, a vehicle, and scheduled narcotic prescription medications. Now, the Fargo Police Department says there are several ways to protect your home from intruders. The first way to ensure the exterior doors of your home are secured. Always ensure exterior lighting is working properly and turned on during hours of darkness. Ensure alarm systems are working properly and engaged when you are and are not home. Authorities say you should get a safe in the event someone gets by your other home security strategies. Lastly, make your house look lived in while you are away. Now, these temperatures just keep hitting us below zero, and I heard there's a warmth in the horizon, maybe a little bit of a warm up, but let's check in meteorologist Lisa Green to see what she has to say.
Yes, we have some improvement coming our way, but it's kind of in the distant horizon. Right now, we need to focus on the dangerous cold that we have affecting us right now, and that really hit this morning. Some of our coldest temperatures yet this season. Fargo dropped down to 22 below. Grand Forks had a low of 25 below. Both of those numbers are the coldest we've seen this season in both of the metros. And there were several places up in the Northern Valley along the Canadian border and over to the east as well that dropped down into the 30s below. Our lowest number, 36 below Baudette, one of those places that dropped that low. So it's just been frigid. These are your temperatures. Wind chills were even worse. We were down to 60 below in Langdon earlier this morning. Here's a look at our current readings. We have temperatures that are into the teens below zero still, 18 below in Devil's Lake, Langdon, and Roseau. Fargo's at 11 below and 13 below in Grand Forks. So just bitterly cold here today. And wind chills that are in the 30s and 20s below. And it's going to stay like this likely through the rest of the afternoon. So definitely want to make sure we're doing what we can to stay warm with bundling up here today. Highs, again, sub-zero for your Friday. And we'll let you know what to expect heading into the weekend. And we'll talk more about that warm-up insight coming up in your forecast in just a couple of minutes.
You're definitely right. We want to make sure that we have those layers next to make sure that we're going to be extra cautious because it is dangerous temperatures like you're mentioning. Thanks again, Lisa. Well, North Dakota grand jury has indicted a Michigan man on drug charges after the seizure of deadly fentanyl with a street value of $160,000. The U.S. Attorney Drew Wrigley says 28-year-old Barry Brown Jr. of Taylor, Michigan, is now charged with conspiracy to distribute controlled substances and possession with intent to distribute oxycodone, fentanyl, and fentanyl-related substance. The indictment, unsealed yesterday, alleges police served a search warrant at Brown's Bismarck hotel room last month and found approximately 2,000 opiate pills that were designed to look like actual oxycodone but contained fentanyl. Agents also seized $66,000 in cash. Wrigley says the arrest is another hit against the pushers who will allege have targeted Native American communities. A call to action for a family that's been there to help other people in need, and now it's their time of need. Logan Schittenert is a Grand Forks fire captain, and his wife Melinda is a nurse who recently traveled to New York City to help during the peak of COVID-19. And now they need your support. Their son Kaiser suffered a serious head injury while horseback riding last month. He had emergency brain surgery at Sanford Children's Hospital in Fargo and is beginning to regain control of his movement throughout his entire body, but still has an unpredictable road ahead. Now, Logan and Melinda have relocated to Fargo to be by their son's side and will likely have to move again for his rehab. Friends have set up a GoFundMe account to help the Schoenerts with medical and living expenses. You can help by searching for the Caring for Kaiser account on GoFundMe. Local hospital clinics and public health units provide their timelines of vaccinations. Sanford says their vaccination process has not slowed down or sped up. As soon as they receive the vaccine, they put it into the patient's arms within 5 days. There is not really a timetable. Staff invites whoever is invited from their phases. They hope to have the general public starting vaccinations by April. Staff does say that President Biden's goal of 1 million doses a day is possible. Staff has the manpower but needs the allocations. Clay County Public Health says they are still providing vaccinations to Phase 1A groups. Additional priority has been provided to E through 12 school staff, child care providers, and 65 years and older. Staff says they are frustrated with the shortage of the COVID-19 vaccine. The staff thinks the April timeline is very aggressive, but it might be possible depending on whether the allocation of the vaccine is expedited from the federal government. The goal to reach the general public as quickly as possible. Grand Forks Public Health Department says they are receiving around 800 to 1,000 doses a week. It feels like they are speeding up with their vaccinations. They say they are making good progress through Phase 1B. Vaccine allocation and uptake are the two factors for the process. Staff says if they receive large allocations, the general public's goal by April is possible. Staff says they don't feel any additional pressure from President Biden's goal. Fargo-Cass Public Health says that the process has sped up. Since December, they have worked to streamline their processes and increase their efficiency. This has resulted in their ability to vaccinate double the number of people in half the amount of time. Staff says they continue to be pleased by their vaccine allocation process. They work to provide the vaccine as quickly and efficiently as possible. Now, Essentia has reached back out to Valley News Live to answer our questions, and we should have their responses by this afternoon, so make sure to tune in to our shows, but also make sure you go on your Valley News Live app for that update. They asked and you delivered. Giving Hearts Day 2021 is in the books, and really, people came through for hundreds of nonprofits who rely mostly on donations. Nearly $22 million was raised Thursday. That shatters last year's amount by more than $2 million. Well, coming up at noon, we hear from a Minnesota police officer who was recovering after being shot in a line of duty. And the sub-zero temperatures continue to be a trend. Weather up next to Plan Your Day with meteorologist Lisa Green.